Top 10 Best Places to Visit in Hoi An, Vietnam. Hoi An, which translates to peaceful meeting place, is a coastal city in Vietnam with a strong history of spice trading going back to the 10th century. Because of its strategic location, Hoi An was a major trading port with China and also attracted commerce, and eventually settlers, from Portugal, the Netherlands, and Japan. By the 18th century, the city was considered the best merchant destination in Asia. Hoi An's ancient history is still very much alive in the attractions and narrow alleyways of the ancient town, where medieval two-story wooden buildings remain frozen in time. In fact, getting lost on the streets of Hoi An is one of the best things to do when visiting. You'll end up discovering traditional markets, crafters selling their wares, and some of the best street food in Vietnam. 1. An Bang Beach. An Bang, Hoi An's widest and softest beach, is just minutes from the town center. It offers amazing open views over the ocean, with the Cham Islands dotting the turquoise waters in the distance. Although the shoreline offers plenty in the way of resorts, restaurants, and entertainment, the beach itself remains quiet and unspoiled. In fact, some of the best seafood in the area comes from small shacks set on the sand, many of which will also rent out sunbeds if you don't feel like sitting at one of their tables. 2. Cua Dai Beach. White sands sloping into the turquoise waters make Cua Dai one of the most popular and most happening beaches in the Hoi An area. Located just 5 kilometers from town, Cua Dai offers soft blue waves that are perfect for swimming. 3. Phung House. Perhaps the most famous building in Hoi An, the Phung House dates back over 200 years. Originally a merchant house for a family selling spices, silk, and chinaware, the house features colorful hanging lanterns, dark red and brown colors, a Japanese-style roof, and bright wall hangings and Chinese inscriptions. 4. Hoi An Ancient Town. The entire old center of Hoi An is now a designated UNESCO World Heritage Site, a melting pot of cultures, architecture, and monuments in one of the busiest ancient trading ports in Southeast Asia. Over 30 hectares and 1,107 timber frame buildings make up the well-preserved historical center, with a mix of religious buildings, monuments, and family homes. Rows of beautiful wooden and brick 15th century to 18th century houses line up the pedestrian streets here. The covered Japanese bridge is also part of it. Walking through the old streets of Hoi An is like traveling back in time. Chinese and Japanese influences are obvious here, with gilded red Chinese characters on rooftops and pagoda-like buildings lining up the canal. Five. Fukian Assembly Hall. Originally a pagoda, this building complex has undergone a series of transformations and restorations since it was first built in the 17th century. It was eventually converted into an assembly hall for the Fukian ethnic group, the largest ethnic minority group in Vietnam. Traditional assembly halls, which are common in China, act as both temples and cultural centers, where events and festivals are held. At the Fukian Assembly Hall, colorful and ornate dragons, gardens, and gates dominate the space. Mythical animals including dragons and a phoenix mix in with turtles, fish, and other creatures in the design around the many bells and statues that occupy the main hall. Six. Hoi An Museum. Also known as the Museum of History and Culture, this small, unassuming attraction is housed on the same grounds as the Quan Yin Pagoda. Originally built in the 1600s for the goddess of mercy, Guan Yin, the temple remains beautiful even though you can see how the centuries have slowly erased details here and there. Both the temple and the museum are worth a visit to get a better understanding of the history of Hoi An and the historical and religious events that have shaped the city over the course of 2,000 years. The museum's collection is divided into 4 sections, covering the history of Hoi An as a trading port, through the Vietnam War, and the rebirth of the city until modern times. The last section focuses on art depicting life in Hoi An through the years. The collection of objects here is slightly chaotic, with bells sitting next to ceramics, Cham sculptures, and maritime artifacts. Thankfully, there is enough information in English to help you understand the pieces here. The top floor of the museum offers breezy open views over the old town. 7. Tanha Pottery Village. Whether you're just looking to buy some pottery or ready to get your hands dirty and learn how to shape some pottery yourself, the beautiful Tanha Pottery Village won't disappoint. The village dates back to the 15th century and it was originally created to supply decorative pottery for the imperial city of Hoi. Over the centuries, the village has developed a number of techniques that allow crafters to create everything from bricks and tiles to bowls and pots, and to do it all by hand in a stunning rainbow of pinks, greens, and blacks. Today, Hoi An ceramics are sold all over the world. While the village is a popular tourist attraction, it has remained very low-key. As you walk through the narrow pathways around the colorful clay homes here, the villagers you'll see really do produce pottery for sale, so whenever you see somebody working on a potter's wheel or burning and baking the finished product, you're seeing an ancient art in progress. Everything you see is for sale at local, not tourist, prices. (8) Japanese covered bridge. This 18-meter-long bridge dates back almost 4 centuries, and it's one of Hoi An's most famous landmarks, even though it's small enough that you could easily miss it if you weren't looking for it. Although the bridge's architectural style is definitely Japanese, Chinese symbols and now weathered statues of astrological animals have been added to the arches over the years to commemorate important dates. The red details and pagoda-like roof made of lacquered wood are a mix of styles and look particularly stunning at night, when the lights from the buildings around reflect on the water and the structure. A UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1999, the pedestrian bridge leads directly to a small temple dedicated to Tranvo Bacta, the Taoist god of weather, who protects believers during earthquakes and floods. Since this is an area of Hoi An that's prone to floods, some of which have damaged the bridge in the past, the location of the temple is particularly relevant. (9) Quan Cong Temple. Unique temple not dedicated to a god or goddess but to a general. This 17th-century pagoda has elaborate decor and has been recognized as a National Historic and Cultural Site. General Quan Cong was born around the year 196, during the Eastern Han Dynasty. He is remembered as a courageous military leader, but also as a protector of the people, helping during famine times and providing shelters for refugees escaping poverty in central China. Today, his memory is honored in this temple with a 3-meter-tall papier-mâché statue with red skin and golden eyes. (10) Tan Ky Old House. Built in 1741 as a merchant's home, this wooden building, built without using a single nail, contains both Japanese and Chinese design influences, two cultures that had a strong presence in Hoi An at the time. The interior of the home is beautifully decorated with poems written on mother-of-pearl hangings and original batrang bricks, while the balcony showcases stunning hand-carved woods. While the home itself belonged to a family, the back of the house, which opens right over the river, was rented to merchants who needed a place to dock when arriving with goods via boat. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, don't forget to give me a thumb up and smash that subscribe button for future videos.